here we are with a couple items we got at the Dollar Tree for lunch. I ate lunch out, but we're also now going to do the idea for more than one people. We've got Miracle Whip, which we could have used in with the tuna, that we can use with luncheon meat we can get there, but we're going to concentrate on the good old standard peanut butter and jelly. We got a little jar of peanut butter and a little jar of strawberry preserves. And we got a loaf of their white bread. Now this had 13 slices in it, so that means we could make 6 complete sandwiches. We got plenty of material here to do that, so let's make it and try it. So, it's funny, I was out, I went to 3 stores today. I went to the Dollar Tree. I went to Big Lots, and somewhere else it escapes my mind right now. But what I've noticed is, Cumberland Farms I went to yesterday. This is all tying in with prices are just skyrocketing. They're going really, really high. So the idea is buying something less expensive. So, it's the same scenario. We're out, we need to eat. Maybe we got a number of people that need to eat. But I can remember as a kid, we would go from Massachusetts to Machias, Maine, where where the grandparents were, right? And it was quite a trip. It was like a 6-hour trip. And so we would stop to eat. And what would we eat were basically the things that my mother brought with her. And she'd basically have sometimes double ham or whatever, but she'd have a loaf of bread. And she had one of the older enameled water jugs. If I see one of those at a yard sale, I'm going to get it. But, it was a decent size, kind of insulated thermos type thing. It had a little spigot on the bottom of it. And, she'd have ice water in that. And so we'd be able to she'd make us sandwiches and we'd have something to drink. And it would be very inexpensive. And of course, back then I kind of thought, oh, this is a nice little picnic. Well, I kind of found out later years that we were doing that because it costs so much less than taking a family in. Back there, I was looking at the first McDonald's came into Maine in the 60s or 70s. And those were more like in the city. So there weren't these convenient places where you could just stop and get something cheap to eat. I mean, back then, they would have been, cheaper than they are now, relative even to the price. So it's something we did. And so we're trying that idea today with, say, I should get some things to strengthen my hands, but it's the problem is not just the strength. The problem is the pain level with all the arthritis and everything. So anyway, I can't imagine this peanut butter and jelly sandwich isn't going to taste great. But so here we basically got 1, 2, 3. If we're doing peanut butter jelly bread, that's $3.75. Also, I should have bought, because I've had them before, is they basically sell the kind of a Pringles type arrangement potato chips for $1.25. So easily we could divide those up among 6 people. And I'm thinking more though, let's say more 3 people. In other words, each person would have 2 sandwiches if they wanted it. And each person, if we took the chips and divided up in 3, that would be certainly plenty. So here's a peanut butter. It looks like peanut butter. We'll try just a little bit. Tastes like peanut butter. What do we got here? We've got, supposed to be serving size is 2 tablespoons, 180 grams, but we got a whopping protein of 7 grams. Peanut butter was invented for people with bad teeth so that they could still have their protein because they couldn't chew meat. And from there, it went to a food for everyday use. But that's where the invention came from. And so here is our strawberry jelly. Interesting. Well, I'm going to be looking for some lower sugar jellies and things because there's just too much sugar in them. And it's funny, sometimes now things will say, I don't know if this will say it, no, but I looked at this product the other day. Oh, Welch's, okay. I got this natural strawberry, no high fructose corn syrup. And I'm like, oh boy, that's great. But then you look at it, it's got the regular 10 added grams of sugar. So I'm not convinced that adding 10 grams of sugar some other way than corn syrup is any better than eating just the corn syrup. So that was kind of disappointing. But, so we're going to try this. Like I say, we're going to see how it is. Peanut butter and jelly. Great. So there we can see we out on the road with the family. We got these peanut butter and jellies. We got the bread. I'd include the chips. Now, if we wanted to do a dessert item, we got these toaster pop-ups. You eat certainly without toasting them. And there's 6 in here. So each person can have one of those. I would say one half a package, another one toaster, one pop-up. Great. So there we go. Stop somewhere, get a meal for the family. They may complain that there's no fries with it or anything else, but there we go. And, you know, we can branch out to, this would be the cheapest option. The Dollar Tree has Spam type products. They've got deviled ham type products. They've got Vienna sausages. You know, we used to cut those in half the lengthwise and put them in sandwiches. But I do have usually deviled ham. They have Spam in single slices, but to me, Spam doesn't taste that good raw. But when you fry it a little, so it slightly browns, the taste of it just improves dramatically, and you just think you're eating ham. Voila. Tell me what you think. You know, and also just the rising costs. We've had the pandemic, all the supply chain issues, but now we're also seeing, I think, the effects of all this artificial bumps up in minimum wage. In other words, this place that used to be able to hire people for $7.50 because, you know, they mandated politically in local areas for the wage to be like $10 or $15. All of a sudden, you know, you're paying maybe $13 an hour for a worker that you could have got it for $9. So you got $4 there that is going to affect your profit line, or how much your profit line is. I should say that. Sometimes my daughter said, well, she thinks these people are, you know, some of these outfits, they're making so much money it's ridiculous. But the point is, I guess they predetermine what they want that profit to be that they can drag out of a place. So if they don't meet that, they're still having problems. So I guess you can look at it two ways, but basically, you know, runaway inflation, and of course, who does it affect most? us old people that are on fixed incomes, or broken incomes, I like to say. We're on Social Security. We have fixed income, and our costs are not fixed. Usually, though, we're living in an older house that we bought at one time, and, or we're in some long-term rental situation where prices don't go up all the time. If back in the day when landlords didn't expect to extract every single penny out of you, they could. But there we go. An inexpensive way to eat for a number of people on a trip. Bye.